What's up YouTube? Honda 1990. Sorry about the noise, I'm right by the shredder here in the junkyard. So just a tribute for the most sold car in its year, I think for a few years actually, was this Honda Accord in the United States. If my memory is good, when I was reading review books back in the days, this was sold more than even trucks, but I might be wrong. I may want to check it out. So this is just a timeless design, just like some BMWs, Mercedes, the smaller Mercedes C-Class from the 85, 90s. This is just a timeless design. This is where you got those Acura Legend as well. This Honda was pretty much in the same kind of design and shape, the same as the Civic, which I had, the Civic 91. It will look exactly the same, just a smaller size and different headlights. We are in Canada, so maybe the design is a little bit different, but the shape overall of the car is just so smooth. I would say perhaps the side walls are a little bit too vertical, not much roundness on them, but it's simply one of a kind design. Of course it's not very actual of 2021, but I think back in the days when they were designing this, they were just having the right lines. There's this design, this look screams equilibrium, screams balance. It's absolutely perfect for those days, of course, but just from a point of view of design wise, because it's quite noisy, I'm just going to pop in and talk inside. But first, one of the very known problems with these cars. So this is driver's side. We had this lock for the trunk, and we had this release for the gas door. Trunk release of mine were always rotten inside and broken, but let's see if this one works. I'm trying to release the gas. Oh, it works. Let's try to release the trunk as well. Excellent. So both work. Why? Because we are in Canada. If you look at the odometer, is going to be down here. Sorry, it's weird a little bit why it's kind of, it's not dirty, it's like a fog inside. But being in Canada, you perhaps cannot see it properly by the camera. This is 154,000 hold on a second, so I'm not wrong. Yes, it's kilometers. So these are kilometers on the outside and miles on the other side. This is a Canadian car. 154 kilometers, that's about 70 something thousand miles, maybe 80,000 miles. For a Honda, this was low mileage, but those who still had them can tell you that these cars with proper maintenance, at least the engine and transmission back in the days, will go up to 300,000 miles without many problems. But that doesn't mean you won't have to repair on it. It's just the engine transmission part. Again, this is Canada. Let's see if the camera will zoom properly. Made in Japan. Actually, it said manufactured in Japan. A Japanese car, 5 May 1990. Gas trap still working, that's good. The trunk, it's a pretty big trunk actually. It's relatively deep, only those wells are protruding, but look at this rear tail lights. Look how smooth they are. This is 1990s. This is 30 years ago, 30 years ago. Modern cars don't have these nice tail lights. And I do remember the Nissan Maxima. I'm getting inside the car for you. The Nissan Maxima from those years, I do remember, although it was a very nice car with a great V6 engine, Nissan just could not get the design of their car right. The Maxima was just the rear lens, the front lens as well. Nissan engineers that just didn't get it, so they were just struggling a lot, and they are spending a lot of money and they still didn't get it right. Anyhow, one of the things Look at this. So Accord means is the bigger Honda, not the bigger, but is not the smaller Civic. Look inside this car. So the seat is all the way back, and I can stretch my legs at the pedal. I'm 6 feet tall, like I said in other videos. Almost perfect leg room. Not perfect. Perfect would be maybe 2-3 inches more, but look at this space. Huge. With the seat all the way back. So that's how the seat sits. It's still vertical. I'm not inclining it backwards to make more space. It's still vertical. But look at, I'll try to reach the dash, and the dash is almost too far away to my hand. It's so spacious inside. The width inside the car is not very big, but it's very spacious anyhow. And this is a 90 car, right? So back in the days, many cars were really small. The steering is one of the things that, well, the design of the steering wheel is nice, but I absolutely hated the size of the steering wheel. It was like a truck steering wheel, and this will kill the feeling of handling of these cars, because these cars were really balanced on the road. Very nice feeling because of very nice suspension. But the steering wheel one that would, at least this one doesn't have airbags, so you can swap it out for a smaller, more compact, more sporty steering wheel, and that would make the whole difference in the feeling and the pleasure of driving this car. Like I said in another video about the instrument panel, look at this RPM, although it's an automatic, and my manual Civic was a base model, but it didn't have the RPM, and it's one of the things I so wish I had one, not because I was racing it, but it's just cool to look. But look at the design of this thing. Sorry for the dirt and stuff, but it's a perfect design. It's absolutely simple, aesthetical, and just smooth looking. Perfect, absolutely perfect. Look how nice are these gauges here. Every digit here is just the right size. The symbols are so nice. It's so smooth looking. This again, these are kilometers, not miles. Perhaps you can see this from this angle, but it's 154,000 kilometers. I forgot to talk about the stalks on the other video with the Honda. Very nice stalks. The color, it's a kind of, it's a black finish, but somehow glossy, but not very glossy. And listen to the click. This I've never seen this in another car ever since. Perhaps I didn't try all the cars, obviously, but perhaps a Miata from that era had also these stalks. Very nice, and they fall into your hand, perfect position. Whipper side, again, very smooth, no play, but just the movement of it, it's so nice. It fits into your hand. Look at this, the design. People didn't pay attention to all these details. This is just a surface that fits into your thumb, and it's not symmetrical. If you look carefully at it, this side here is smoother than this side, so it's not symmetrical. They were thinking of all these designs. This is when engineering was caring about things. It has never been again ever since, in my opinion. Yeah. Very nice. Controls were very basic, but very simple to operate. Try to operate the controls in Audi Q5. Try it while driving and tell me about it. But try not to crash your car. So yeah, very nice design. And the seats, like I said in another video of Hondas from those times, I think car makers should grab these seats from the junkyard till they can still find them. Grab them, measure, take measures, distances, kind of form the whole geometry of the seat, and try to reproduce this in modern cars, please, because this is an art that has been lost. There are people on YouTube saying this is an art that should be lost, but this is an art that has been lost. Not engineers, but actually these are the guys who design ergonomically. they just don't know how to reproduce these things these days. Perhaps you'll find in some cars, depends of the cars, maybe some high-end Audi, BMW, but it's so simple. You already had a design. It's good. Just sit someone in here and ask that person how does it feel, and then sit them into a Nissan or something else, and just understand that people did like these seats and try to reproduce them. You don't have to spend 2 million to design a new seat. It's already there. Just copy it and go for it, and just keep this fabulous design of seats. Okay, so yes, one of the cars that I think it's just one of the landmarks basically in car design from that era. One downsides of these cars, obviously very thin A-pillar, but overall very poor crashworthiness. Not a car that you would call safe, especially in a small overlap. Let's say look a little bit of the suspension, because it's different. It's not something you would see these days in cars with upper control arm, and the shock absorber will have this fork which goes over the axle. And this was a suspension that was very efficient. The car will also have a lower, I'm not sure what will be the name, perhaps a control arm. This was a car that was very balanced in the road bends and stuff. The downside is all these bushings will perish. You can see it even on 150,000 kilometers car. All the bushings will be pretty weak, even those boots. That's just because Honda didn't put really great rubber quality. This area rusting here behind the rear wheels. Look at this kind of control arm or kind of end link. It's really weird. Look at this, how it looks. Anyhow, so it's not a car that you will say it's very attractive looking, but it was very balanced. Very good design by those years. To give you an example, this is a Honda Civic EF 91. This one particular 91, from 89 to 91 was the last year. It says it was made in Canada, actually, manufactured by Honda of Canada, so it doesn't say Japan on it. 91. This one is pretty stripped out. This one is 30 years old car, Canadian. So that's how it looks. But basically it's the same as the Acura, as the Accord, Honda Accord. Like I said, it's just a little bit difference in the headlights. Let me show you the basically I had this car, but mine was sedan and blue, but the same year. Manual transmission, very nice shifter. The transmission shifter, the movement of the shifter was just so nice, so nice. It wasn't that, it was feeling click and stuff. A-pillar, very thin, not a car you'd like to crash with. So yes, these are the nice designs, and actually the first generation Acura NSX, the sports Honda, was based on the same kind of design, the same lines. Thanks for watching.